Okay, we're going to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Port of Oswego Authority. This is Monday, November 17th, 2025, and it's approximately 4:42. We have a call to order. Let's go around the room. Tom?
Relative to introductions, Tom Schneider, Interim Executive Director.
Jenna Lafayette, member.
James Metcalf, board member.
Pat McMahon, board employee.
Kitty Macy, board member.
John Smith, former board member, visitor, and thanks Patrick.
Connie Casamano, board member.
Fran Enright, board member. Also present in the room, Marie?
Marie Shad, legislator for the 19th District.
Chris Weisenberger, Oswego County Democratic Chair.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Dick Atkins, previous board member, just here to observe.
Debbie Godden, port employee.
Okay, I want to move item number 2 to the bottom of the list here. We have all these visitors here. I don't want to kick everybody out from executive session, so we'll go over to our item number 3 here, or actually it'll be item 4. This will be motion 11-17-2503 to approve the minutes of the 10/20/25 regular monthly meeting, and that's Exhibit A.
So move.
Have a
Second.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes. And item 5, administrative operation report, and this is Tom.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. There is a tonnage report that on the second page, which really, again, was we're comparing it to something isn't all that relevant. But October was a much slower month in terms of cargo movement, and a lot of that really had to do with sort of how the local plant was going to respond to their closure. So you know, most of what we move is aluminum. If you drove on and took a look around, you'll see that in Johnny Price, the makeup of the yard is significantly different. What we see is this ongoing trend of domestic aluminum that's prime aluminum, these smaller ingots, being moved out by the owners, which are primarily commodity brokers, to a number of different locations. So that's really helped us then to be able to support Novelis by taking larger recycled ingots off of there and moving them here. We're in daily communication with them, and we want to be able to be here to help them stage their startup. And in order to do that, they need to clear their field out of some stuff that's not going to be used in the beginning of the startup. So they've been transporting that here, and the prime aluminum has been transported out. But what's really happened relative to this supply of domestic prime aluminum, which is subject to most of it, well, all of it that we receive comes from Canada. And we receive very little this year direct from Canada by a vessel. Most of that really has to do with the industry waiting to see what would happen with tariffs, and then somewhat of a reluctance to move aluminum over at the higher tariff rates. But the consumption of that aluminum is going to be to the point where I think we will get into the new year, there's just going to have to be a resupply that comes through, and most of that resupply will have to come through by vessel. It's going to carry any of these ingots in significant quantity. So right now, the configuration of what we have is the consumption of what's still considered domestic prime aluminum that has not been subject to tariff. The only thing that is on our field that is subject to tariff is right out in front of me here, in front of the silos, and it's being moved out and consumed at other locations, and will have to be replenished at some point. But in the interim, it really helped us clear up the yard so that we can accept from Novelis their large recycled ingots, ones that are 15 to 17 metric tons, and be able to have plenty of room to store them by size, by alloy, in order to return them to the plant when they're up and operating, which estimates, in public communications, they've moved up to hopefully by the end of December. After that, when we get into the agricultural section, the soybeans are coming in to the silo from farmers. The soybean season and the harvest has not been great because of how wet it's been. So I think we have less in the silo than we would have in an otherwise more favorable season. The potash continues, at this point it goes out in very small supplies and will eventually be refilled by cargo. I have on here Dome 4, only to say that that's primarily at this point being used for the storage of boats from the marinas. East side and west side marinas are both closed at this point. On tenant updates, we're still working through the succeeding lease with the General Services Administration for the USDS site at 17 Lake Street. And they've asked for questions regarding the request for lease proposal as early as today. The break wall repair project that's being done by the subcontractor to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is, while not officially wrapped up for the season, technically wrapped up. There are really two different subcontractors, one serving the wall here and one in Sodus. The one who was serving the wall in Sodus thought they could get work done in November, but that just hasn't worked out in terms of the roughness of the water. We were on a call last week with the Maritime Administration, who's overseeing the warehouse modernization grant, and we're still mostly working through the environmental portion of that, as well as the Section 106 tribal communications and the Title VI policies and procedures that are associated with that federal grant. The rail upgrade and conveyor project that's associated with the federal EDA grant and state PFRAP grant, we're still waiting to do core drillings on that. I'll leave the electric rail car mover to Patrick, as he went and visited Baltimore and drove around and one similar. And Deb, I was going to throw to you the FEMA projects, which we've been encouraged to get closed out by the New York State Department of Emergency New York State Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Services, because they were concerned about any pullback on that funding source.
Yes. So that, the FEMA project, that included the east dock down here and the west pier. They were all the same project as far as FEMA was concerned. That was a $6.1 million in projects. The projects have been closed out. I've submitted everything to them, went through New York State Dishes, Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Services. And then they forwarded it on to FEMA. FEMA has reviewed it and closed it on their side. Now it's kicked back to Dishes. And we are just waiting for the funds to be sent out to us. Again, these projects are all reimbursement based. So we pay out the contractors and then we have to submit for reimbursement. So we're awaiting that reimbursement now. So the FEMA project, right now, we're waiting for $496,800. Additionally, the New York State DOT grant that we had for the agricultural center, which built the silo and Dome 4. today I submitted the final payment request on that, which is $372,000. So that should, usually it turns around with the state in about a month. So hopefully we'll have that sometime in December.
Yes.
So, I don't see on here, and wondered just what's the update on the Customs and Border Protection
Yeah.
lease?
Yeah, they have, sorry, I don't know if you got that on there. But last month's no different than last month's. They had put forward a lease that both our council to the port has reviewed, being very one-sided. But it's also at the Executive Chamber's council's office, and we're gonna set up a conference call. We still haven't gotten
The
to.
governor's office?
The governor's office,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Um,
And there's still no survey, right?
that- He did get back to me on doing a title search, because one of the requirements would be to certify that we own the land that it would go on, which I cannot do without an abstract that says we actually own that land. I think some of the.
Answer.
So the title price he got was pretty reasonable, the second time through, so I asked him to go forward
Well,
with
that
the
should
title
require
search.
negotiation. If they want it, they should also.
They can also pay for the title, yeah, they actually incorporated that in an email when I informed them of that.
Was that part of your discussion with him? Is that right?
I've only exchanged emails, but yes, that was.
Getting back to the beginning of what you were talking about, so the movement of all the aluminum in and out of here is less profitable for us though versus ships coming.
When vessels come in, you have, both, you have higher labor rates, you have dockage, you have wharfage, that the vessel is there for a longer period of time. It is definitely a higher margin business,
Right.
because there are only, a certain number of places that vessel can dock. So, yeah, the more traffic we do by vessel, the more profitable it is for us, as opposed to items coming in by rail and truck.
And so, if any shipment that might resume from Canada for aluminum is weather dependent in that, because they don't have to use the St. Lawrence Canal.
Well,
Do
the vessel lies, and Patrick could give this to you better, but it lies at Septil Isles, which is really on the furthest eastern edge of the seaway. But I haven't received notification of closure yet, and we were speaking to a broker today who thought that they were going to be bringing in product on the vessel in December. Know if that's going to happen, and again, we want to move that into the foreign trade zone.
we don't have anything with FTZ rate on, do
There's the only items that we've been utilizing within the FTZ is Customs has been using us for a staging area to inspect trailer loads that they have, randomly chosen or chosen based upon the paperwork, and they've redirected them here so that they could be unloaded, inspected by Customs, reloaded, and shipped out. And we've been doing, how many, we had 5 trucks in just the last month.
There's 4 here,
Can I
4 here.
go back to the tower, police tower? Has there been any discussion on what kind of software is in there?
Software, I have not discussed. Yep, what would you like to?
Well, there's been some concern about the type of software that Board and ICE have been using, and that the information collected can give away private information, not to any of us.
I'm making a note of it, and I'll definitely inquire that.
We should definitely inquire. And they will definitely tell us nothing. We have to make our records.
That's why,
that's
that's why the state's involved.
Right, correct, got it. That is the question.
For the purpose of our guests, the Border Patrol has requested to put in a removable or movable surveillance tower. We showed them a location up at the Gibbons property, west or northwest of the tracks. And, you know, they've come back with a lease proposal that we're still gonna walk down the road with. But we don't even know if we own the property or who owns the property for which a temporary road would be put in. The purpose of the surveillance tower would be to give them a 7 nautical mile view across the lake. Well, I'm not sure. Just
Well, you'll
happy to discuss that with anyone.
keep us appraised of your meeting.
Yep.
Back to, I'm sorry,
Oh,
go.
go ahead. No, no.
Back to the FTZ, who's unloading? The union?
Who would unload from us? The vessels that come in are always.
No, for the customs, when they want them unloaded.
Yes, the
Yes,
longshoremen are.
I like.
Who
yes.
pays that freight?
The broker who then passes it forward to the customer.
Gotcha.
And the broker that we utilize is Movavi Global.
Yep.
One other question, a couple of meetings ago, we talked about the tariffs and the reason why things aren't moving, because
Yeah.
people are sort of waiting to see. You had mentioned 2 different warehouse types. What we have is a warehouse that everything comes in and everything goes out at the same tariff rate that it came in. And the other kind is everything comes in at one tariff rate and then will go out at whatever the prevailing tariff rate is at the moment. What were the 2 names of
Yeah.
those? I forgot.
So what we have established is a foreign trade zone.
Yeah.
In a foreign trade zone, the tariff rate or tax is established at the time that it enters, and whenever it leaves at the entry rate.
Right,
Bonded warehouse is the other type,
I
where
can't remember the names.
it comes in, is placed in the bonded warehouse, and it is tariffed or taxed at the rate in effect at the time it leaves.
Okay, and the issue with us creating a bonded warehouse here is that we're in a foreign trade zone and we have to do it outside the foreign trade zone.
Yes.
Where would be the closest place that would be?
Well, we could probably accomplish that here. It would first require a boundary modification of the foreign trade zone,
Yep.
and then the establishment of the bonded warehouse. It doesn't seem as though the demand for that has held.
Okay.
I think the idea that this rate now, that sometime in April, I think early April, moved from 25% on steel and aluminum to 50% would be negotiated to some other rate. That confidence has left industry members that there's some future lower negotiated rate, because it's pretty clear that the United States administration and the Canadian administration are not working towards an accord.
So I just wonder, and what you're saying now maybe precludes this, but if we're gonna have a low season for the winter, would it be useful to use this time to try and explore this opportunity to create a bonded
We are still,
warehouse,
we are
right?
still looking at it.
in case something seems to, maybe there's some crack in the ice here,
Yeah.
you know, pun intended, and then all of a sudden this might be something that's a hot commodity.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes, the answer to that is yes, and while we have been working on it a little bit slower since we use the same broker that we established the FTZ with, who's also our commodity broker, and they are in a disagreement with customs as to how the process would work. Work through that.
got it. And the broker's Mohawk?
Global Mo, of course, Mo.
Mohawk Global.
Global.
Anything else we can go with that?
And then we'll be able to get a better sense of how the industry is thinking of this Highway H2O conference that Pat and I will be attending, leaving sometime tomorrow, Thursday.
Pat, what you got?
Well, mine's a shorter one because Tom covered most of it. But the electric rail car mover, it is should be in Syracuse in December. And we're hoping to see it in February. Just was, what it is with everybody else here. Currently, we have it's called a Hercules. It moves 5 cars at a time. We're able to get funding for an electric rail car mover that can move 9 to 12 cars through the port. So it's gonna help us a lot with moving cars and getting product unloaded and loaded.
So basically, when CSX enters onto port property, which is really at 10.5 Street, and when the track moves over, they just leave it up on the track there. We take care of the car movement anywhere within the inside of the facility. Right now, we're doing that with a diesel-powered trackmobile, and a grant was approved prior to my being in this position to acquire a electric trackmobile that's still being built right now in Europe. Will be shipped to Baltimore. Will be shipped to Syracuse. Eventually, we'll take possession of it. But that came off of a passenger freight and rail assistance program grant from the state of New York's Department of Transportation.
How do we charge that thing?
We have a charging station out here. We have 2 ports. I've got to put one more in because they just surprised me. The original one had 3 batteries. This one has 4. So now I have to add, currently we have 2 plugs on the wall. I have to add 1 more. That was, should only take, once the guys are on break, they'll plug it in. If they have a half-hour lunch, they'll plug it in. It'll just recharge itself, and then at night, it'll just sit and charge, and we should be able to get 12 hours out of the machine.
Then these are
On an
plugs
overnight
are-
charge?
Yes.
Those plugs are adjacent to the rail dock,
Yes.
but the vehicle also has tires and can come up off the rail and move independently.
We put locations so the guys don't have to move the rail machine that much. They can pull up parallel to the dock, plug it in, go take a break, come back out, unplug it,
Yeah.
and take off. And the only other final thing is I was invited to appreciation reception for the H. Lee White Museum. They just wanted to thank us for me going over there and everybody else going over there to help them fix whatever they needed to be done and anything else that goes on over there. So they invited myself to go to this. So it was interesting.
Pat, I got a question about the west side. What are we gonna do for the winterization? There, we talked about air bubblers and stuff. Do we have a plan on that?
We talked about it. I've got feelers out with a couple of different companies, and they're getting back to me slowly for putting bubblers in there. Taking the ramps off more. We didn't take them off last year. We took them off this year. We're hoping to grab at least a couple bubblers to put in there to hopefully hold the ice back.
What's a deadline to get those in?
Before it freezes.
Tomorrow.
I just don't want the
I
damage
mean-
to happen again.
I hear you.
I mean, it's just, they're a little expensive too. That's why I'm trying to find the best option for us to put them in there.
See what bubbles up?
Yeah, I know how they work. I just didn't know when they put them in, because they used to put them in pretty early down in the city.
That it?
It's our reluctance to spend money, but what's the damage to great larger expenses in the spring?
What, off the top of your
Yeah,
head,
I planned that.
what was the, maybe Debbie, you would know? What
I
was the
don't.
money damage in the global dry dock list?
I don't know what it was.
We self-perform repairs, so it's like represented a bill, they go and figure hours and stuff.
Just the city still use probably.
Either way, I
Because they pulled it out so now.
as long as it's, doesn't fall through the cracks, that's all.
Did we call the DPW to see if they got old ones laying around?
I'll go last one.
Cool. All right,
Good thought.
yeah, I was gonna do that.
We might be able to partner with them too, if they have extras, I don't know if they.
Well, yeah, he said they pulled it downtown now, so they don't
Pulled
use
it
it, so they
downtown
could be
now, so I
sitting,
don't think they put
they
it
could be sitting over at the DPW. up on a shelf.
They always have one, they always have several at that main dock where you put your boats in.
Yeah.
They have two or three of them down there. But if they have more,
Sure.
they'd be probably more than happy.
Pat Lee, DPW, commissioners been working great together.
All right, let's go on item 6, administrative financial reports, primary and subsidiary.
Again, they are there for your overall view and questions, but you're seeing in these the lower volume that's gone on this year. And the strain that it places on cash flow. It's my expectation that November is a much stronger month because of all of the activity that's taken place since there were decisions made post the event at Movavi, which was bringing a lot of product from there here and then shipping out a lot of product to those locations. So we've done quite a bit more handling volume in November than we did in October.
Looks like our expenses are higher. Do we pay for something in particular, or is there in October?
I don't, relative to a particular month.
I mean, it looks like it's just a little higher than
Yeah.
September, but I'm just looking at the blocks, right? So
Tom,
Yes.
October had 3 pay periods.
right.
October had 3 pay periods, so that increases the expenses
Okay,
for the
there you
month.
go.
Anybody have any questions on the financial report? Both the primary and subsidiary. And we're gonna go to motion 11-17-2504, that's to accept the October's primary and subsidiary financial reports.
Okay.
Okay, we need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second.
All right. Anyone opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. Okay, chairman's report. Well, this is always fun. It's even more fun today, John, because I have something here. And this is a plaque. It says Dr. John Karras Smith, in recognition of and sincere appreciation for your 15 years of civic duty to the Port of Oswego Authority Board of Directors.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Somebody get a camera, that'd be kind of nice.
I got it.
Get something. Let me get you in.
Kind of stuff.
Thank you, Ken. Perfect. Look at that.
Woo-hoo.
Thanks again, Ken.
Thanks again. Thank you.
Here, I have, this is your box that it came in. Tell you.
In case you don't want to frame it. That's
Oh,
nice.
no. Okay, at this point, I don't have anything else to talk about in the open session. So we'll go to committee report. Connie?
No, the only report I get is I finally made contact with John by telephone. And that's it.
There it is.
Perfect. New business is discussion and board meeting schedule.
Yes, so I asked this to be put on the agenda. Jamie had approached me, he has a conflict with another organization that he volunteers his time and effort for, that also meets on the third Monday of every month. So I was wondering if before we move into setting up a meeting schedule for the next calendar year, how everyone feels about moving off of that, getting rid of that conflict for him.
And I understand if other people have conflicts that are.
As long as it's
other
not Monday
days.
morning, I'm good.
I just, it creates, I don't like to have to divide between the two on one night. So I'm asking for your help, but if anybody else has conflicts, fair game too, and it can stay here.
Can we move it to the second Monday?
Is
I'm
there some,
good.
is there
Because I
some?
feel like that would work for you too in January, right?
Well, yeah, because I'm leaving somewhere the second week in January.
Yep.
Okay?
How about with finances? Is
Fine.
there,
So,
is there
The
a better,
second.
is there
The
a
other
better
question I have is-
Monday
is
though?
Not the first,
Not the first, I
and I would not do the last, it's too
Last.
far
well, we can
past.
do it. We can change it around, that's what we're talking about. We can change our schedule right now.
Really, look, there's just us.
Right, sure. No, I
So-
just want, and Debbie said we're fine at the second.
We can set up a schedule that's the second Monday, and then if it has to be altered, you know, if we can get them, we can get everybody a month's worth of advance on any alterations, but we're certainly, you know, we don't need to be locked in like some boards.
Well, correct, sure, we can always change
Because
it. but
December's tough
changing
with,
it,
you
changing
know.
it monthly.
Well, moving it
Different
earlier in
parties.
December is typically easier for
It's
people.
easier.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so could we move our next meeting to the 8th and
Well,
then stick to the second Monday?
You don't have any of your parties to go to, right?
Is the 8th the second Monday?
The 8th is the second
Yes.
Monday.
Wow.
Okay, fine with me.
All right.
Daughter's birthday.
Does it not work to do that?
I think it'll be okay. I mean, I'm hoping it'll be all right.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So I would move then that we change the schedule to the second month.
Yeah, and I don't know that we need
I don't
any
know if
official
it's under-
resolution, because I don't
So-
think that there was, the schedule is a little bit flexible, it's more of a target.
Consensus just.
Are you sure it's not the bylaws?
No, I know it's not.
It's not, okay.
It's
good.
not.
Okay,
It's not.
all right.
So the next meeting is going to be December 8th, and we're going to second Monday.
The annual
Yeah.
meeting is the only proscribed.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
Okay.
And then January, you know, we're not sure yet for January.
No,
So
we're
the
going to
second- we're
assume
gonna do
right
the
now.
second
The same way,
Monday.
we're gonna
Yeah.
assume the
Second
So
Monday.
that would be, just Fran, that for you, that would be the 12th,
Oh, the January, so that,
you know, the 12th of January.
does that keep you here, Frank? Are you here?
Well, I will be now.
Close enough?
Close enough.
Yeah, I got you.
Unless there's like a big blizzard or something that's gonna sock the whole northeast.
Right,
in.
understood.
I can't leave for Florida, I gotta watch the weather.
Yeah.
But maybe the January thaw, I don't know.
Maybe it'll be spring. Who knows?
Let's hope so. So that moves us, guys, over back to, which was item number 2, and that was a move to executive session for discussion and governance continued. So,
Yeah.
I
Need a
use
motion
I
to
use
go
the term
in-
continuity just as a catch-all for
Yeah, it catches it all. All right, so we just need a motion to go to executive session.
I move, so move.
Second?
I'll do it, yeah.
All right, so, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see, 2505, and that is, this is, do it.
To adjourn?
Motion to adjourn the regular monthly meeting.
So,
Okay, I got Jamie,
Sorry.
Thanks.
Jen.
Thanks for making the trip, John.
6:25.
You got it.
Appreciate it.